In this presentation, we will be discussing what dance looks like in Costa Rica and how it can communicate a lot about the rich culture and history of its people. Costa Rica is a Latin American country located in Central America. It is often known for its saying pure vida, which translates to simple life. This attests to the Tico's stress-free way of looking at life, as well as their optimistic spirit. The spirit is also manifested in many forms of dance in Costa Rica. After doing some research, I found 3 dances in 3 contexts of dance in Costa Rica. The first one we'll be talking about is Punto Guanastico, which is the national dance of Costa Rica. And this encapsulates their spirit and their pride for Costa Rica. The second one we're talking about is Swan Criollo, which encapsulates how sometimes dance can be assimilated from other cultures. And finally, we'll be talking about Danza de los Diablitos, which is how dance is used in ritual. Often considered the most popular dance in the nation, Punto Guanacastico encompasses the lively spirit of Costa Rica. This dance captures the traditions of courtship between a young man and woman, and this is evident when the male dancers yelp like cowboys in order to woo the women. In this traditional dance, you will sometimes see 2 circles with the men on the outer circle and the women on the inner. Other times, there are more intimate duets in which the man and woman hold each other with one arm, pressing the front half of their bodies together, as you will see in the upcoming video. They travel around the circle with a pony step, the women fanning their skirts. This traditional dance is performed in the rhythm of parrandera, which originates from the province Guanacaste, the heart of Punto Guanacastico. It was in Guanacaste during the 1830s that this form of dance was born and nurtured until it expanded so far from home that it became today's national dance of Costa Rica. As you just saw in the past video, the women traditionally wear layered skirts that are revealed when they twirl and hold the skirt up in one hand. The men wear button-up shirts and utilize colored handkerchiefs when dancing. The man in the last video was not wearing a button-up shirt because it was a very untraditional setting, but this is what they traditionally wear. The colors of the skirts, as well as usually the man's shirt, may vary based on the region of Costa Rica. The colors utilized are significant for they convey a lot about the history of the region. And in the setting of civic activities such as the dance you just saw, Costa Rica's national colors are often taken and put in the forefront when it comes to Punto Guanacastico. As the women twirl, their skirts reveal striking rainbows of blue, white, and red, which you just witnessed. Actually, the videos you witnessed are my own, because back in the summer of 2019, I traveled to Carrillo in the Guanacaste province, which is where this form of dance was born. And I also was able to witness and participate in Punto Guanacastico. In the first video you saw the basic step of Punto Guanacastico, which is a side step. With each side step, the dancers raise their arms, then cross them, and that's when you can see those skirts moving and waving. And they also wore those traditional colors of blue, white, and red. This last video provides an example of how the skirt looks when the women twirl. I think it's also a good representation of how dance is passed down from generation, because this girl is very young, yet she was still accustomed to Punto Guanacastico, and you could tell all she wanted to do was be like the big kids. Next, we'll be looking at how national pride of Costa Rica can manifest in the form of assimilating different cultures into your own. And the best example of this is Creole swing. It was a hidden treasure until the 2000s when it was finally recognized as folkloric dance, embedding itself in Costa Rican tradition. But before then, Creole swing was seen as a dance for the lower class. It was even banned from dance halls in an attempt to keep it buried beneath the title of traditional dance. Creole swing originates from the rise of swing dance in America during the 1920s. American swing dance grew so popular it spread across cultures, landing in Costa Rica. After swing dance lost its popularity in the 50s, Costa Ricans still found the bouncy step intriguing and then further explored other rhythms to swing to. And this is how they added their own Costa Rican flair, and even though the steps of Creole swing did not derive from the country itself, it was transformed by the people to become uniquely theirs. These 2 images represent swing dance, one in Costa Rica on the left and the other in America. The Latin influence is evident in the music they use as well as the added hip movements they add, which you'll see in the upcoming video. Black Lion. According to Tico Times, Criollo swing diverges from other Latin dances such as salsa and the merengue because it's less rigid and there are less rules and more improvisation. This feeling of liberation could possibly account for the popularity of Criollo swing amongst the youth in Costa Rica, for they do not feel restricted by the uncompromising steps of tradition and folkloric dance often seen in the other forms we look at today. The youth of Costa Rica revolutionized traditional dance by bringing Creole dance into the light, allowing it to brighten all of Costa Rica and not just the lower class. This dance form is so niche in Costa Rica it can only be found here and will not be seen anywhere else but the homeland. Because of the modernized nature of this dance form, there's no traditional attire. However, the women usually wear short skirts that move as they turn, and as well as wearing character shoes. The men wear button-ups and long pants with heeled shoes as well. Finally, we'll be looking at Danza de los Diablitos, also known as Dance of the Little Devils. It's a ritual dance performed by the indigenous Barroca tribe of Costa Rica. It's performed over the span of 3 days, beginning on New Year's Eve until the 2nd of January. This 3-day spectacle is often a reflection of the Barroca view of the 3-day war between the Spanish conquistadors and the Barroca. On the first day, the performers gather in excitement to prepare for the fight they are about to endure. The following day is an interpretation of the fight in which one individual is dressed as a bull, symbolizing the Spaniards. The Barroca warriors are seen taunting the bull and whacking it with straw in attempts to defeat it. And by the end of the fight, on the 3rd day, all the Barrocas are dead, but soon revived by the High Devil. This takes manifestation in the male performers seeking out the bull as it runs away. They end the performance in celebration as they finally defeat the Spaniards. Because of this hyper-focus on storytelling, the Dance of the Little Devils does not maintain a continuous rhythm as seen in Punto Guanacastico or Criollo swing. There are instead whistles, horns, and an accordion player accompanying the men as they bounce around the bull in intimidation, which you just saw in the last video. While other times Tico dances are inclusive to all Costa Ricans, Danza de los Diablitos is strictly reserved for the men of the tribe who carve their own Diablo masks. Diablo masks are worn by the male performers in order to appear intimidating, as if they are being observed by the Spanish conquistadors. The craft of carving and painting these intricate masks is a long-standing tradition of the Barroca that requires a lot of skill and practice. Along with these masks, the men are wearing goncoche sacks and large banana leaves, mimicking the outfits of the warriors who fought the Spaniards. When the people of Costa Rica dance, a narrative is created through the way they move, whether it be to worship, uphold tradition, or even just to socialize. Costa Ricans are claiming their history through the dances they perform, and this is why it's not just about dancing while in Costa Rica, but instead it's the way Ticos live and the way they express themselves and their culture.